What's up, everybody? We are going to continue with 10.4. Hope this chapter has been easy for you. But I'll just talk about some of this stuff just so we can at least get this done for the week. So we will do stem and leaf plots. If you've never seen a stem and leaf plot before, welcome, because you're about to see one. See, if we're first off, if I want to make a stem and leaf plot, first thing I want to do, let me put this in order. So if I put this in order, let me see. Hold up, I'll put it in order for a second. Okay, after some scuffling, I was able to put these in order. If you ever have problems putting data in order, just like start with the number, start with the lowest number, cross it out, and then keep on going up and keep crossing out numbers. So you basically have as many numbers are displayed, but now they're in order. So now, since my data is in order, right, I'm going to use the tens place. So let's say use the tens place, or the biggest place, in this case the tens place, as the stem. I'm capitalizing and I ain't supposed to be. So use the tens place as the stem. In the ones place, let's say the ones place as the leaves, right? So what I mean is, say you don't have that many stems, right? You have, well, I'll actually just notate it so we have a little bit of room. We can deal with that. Say if I have my stem, right? My stem is going to consist of, again, let's see, what do I have? I have a 1, 2, 3. Hold up, let me get some more room here. Okay, I got some room now. Alright, so if I'm talking about a stem and leaf plot, let me actually deal with it this way so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So just like any plant or whatever, if you have any plant, I'm not going to draw a plant, you have a stem and you have the leaves. Wait, did I spell leaves right? Disregard how I just spelled leaves. Let's see, L-E-A-V-E. Wait, is that right? Yeah, gonna make me Google this. I think that's how you spell leaves. So, alright, let's actually talk about the stem. The stem is going to have the numbers. In the 10th place, I have a 1, 2. I have a 3. I have a 4, and I have a 5 as the stem. And really what we're doing is, in the ones place, we're doing values for each one of those tens places. So say in the ones place, right, I have a 16. In the teens, I have a 16 and 18. So that means my stem is 1, my leaves are going to be 6, 8, right? In the 20s, in other words, the 10th place is 2, I have 21, 22, 22, and 25. So ultimately, I see 1, 2, 2, 5. For 3, I have 2, 3, 5, 6. And for 4, I have 7. 5, I have 1. So really, that's pretty much what a stem and leaf plot is. It shows you the distribution of the actual data, like where the data lies. What you can notice here is that most of the data lies within the 20s and 30s, right? So that's one of those spots that we can pick up on. That's pretty much how you do a stem and leaf plot, right? So let's actually do a problem. Hopefully you guys are writing this stuff with me or whatever so you can follow along. Let's do a problem so you can actually find out. And with this one, I'm going to need some space. Alright, I got a little bit of room now. The number of home runs hit by 20 baseball players with the best single season batting average in Major League Baseball since 1900 are listed below. Make a stem and leaf plot of the data. Again, it comes down to just putting this stuff in order. So let me see, I'm going to do a few of them, just putting them in order, just to make sure. Let's see, the lowest number I have here is 4. I see a 4, right? Oh, actually, no, there's a 3 here too. So I see 3, 4, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, and I'll do the rest. Alright, there's all the data right there. As you go forward, it's going to get easier because there's going to be less numbers to look at. So there's all my data, so now I can create a stem. It's a little easier to create a stem and leaf plot now. So let's give it a shot. Yeah, I'll do my stem and my leaves. Here my stem, here are my leaves, right? If my stem and my leaves, let's see. Now here's the thing. Since I have a 3, a 4, a 7, 7, and 8, the stem there is 0, right? So then in my teens, my stem is 1. Then stem is 2, 3, and I think 4 is about as high as it goes. No, I don't want that marker. I want this one. So with that, now I can just start putting the leaves on. Again, just look at the ones place on each one of these. So go ahead and fill this up and come back to me, see if in fact we have the same thing. So you can go ahead and pause the video, fill your stem and leaf plot up, and see if we got the same thing. So go ahead, pause the video to handle that. Hopefully you guys got the same thing I did. If I made a mistake, y'all can just let me know when we get to class or anything. But from here, we made that stem and leaf plot, and what you can see from here, this is just analysis of the data, is most people hit, I think it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 people hit pretty much under 30 home runs. Whereas you can say 6, 8 people hit over 30 home runs. That's just one brief analysis that you can see right there with this stem and leaf plot. So again, stem and leaf plots are not hard at all. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. The years in which each of the first 20 states were admitted to the Union are listed below. Make a stem and leaf plot of the years. Now here's the thing. We don't have 2-digit numbers anymore. I think I jumped straight to 4-digit numbers. So jumping straight from 4-digit number, there's a couple ways that this could be done. Let me give you one suggestion of what your stem is. Depending on, I should say this. Depending on what the stem is, how clear or how spread out or evenly distributed your data is. Like, I'm not going to make my stem 1 in this case, because if you look at it, all of these are under 1,000, right? A better thing to do, like really, and even if I make it 17, it doesn't distribute the data. Maybe a good thing to do is just go with the first 3 digits. Hold on, wait, hold on. Okay, I think I managed to organize the data now. So I'm gonna try, and since it's organized now, I broke up the stem and leaves into 178, 179, 180, and 181, and then the leaves are just that 1 digit, right? If I did that, I can find out even more. Like, really, I'm going by the decade in this case. So 178 has a 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. Hold on, how many are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 4 more of these. Oh, and then a 9. Right? So then for the rest of it, should look like this, right? So from the data, you can tell that most of these countries, well, I'm sorry, most of these states were admitted to the Union in the 1780s, right? That's what this whole distribution thing is about, right? So that's typically stem and leaf plots. I went over a little bit of distribution. Let's actually jump down to frequency tables. With frequency tables, if you had a little bit of experience with these, well, a type last homework. But we can talk about this. First off, frequency, the number of data values that are in an interval. In other words, how many times does something occur is a frequency. Right? Frequency tables used to group data into equal intervals with no gaps between intervals and no intervals overlapping. And then from there we can actually develop a histogram. I will show a histogram is pretty much a bar graph, but the bars touch each other. Alright, so let's see. Let's take this data right here and we're going to make a frequency table with it. You have 43, 40, 52, so on and so forth. My advice, let's put this stuff in order. So go ahead and put it in, pause the video, put it in order, come back to me. Alright, we got it in order now. So with having in order now, we talk about our intervals. One thing we have to understand and remember is you want to choose an interval of equal size to cover all of the data. So each one of your intervals have to be equal to each other. Since I start with 40 and end with 60, let's go by 5s. So say my first interval. Do I want to use red? Yeah, I'll use a smaller red. Let's see. Let's go from 40 to 44. That's 5 numbers. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Wait, is that? Yeah. Our next interval, let's go from 45 to 49. Now, some of you might have wanted to go 40 to 45, but that's 6 values. We want to go 5 values, right? Since we're going from 40 to 60, which is 20 data points, data values. Then let's go 50 to 54. Notice they're all the same length, right? And let's go from 55 to 59. And then from 60 to 64. With that interval, let's see how well our frequency is going to be, right? Between 40 and 44, right? Notice that our data happens, our frequency of the data in between 40 and 44 is 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Between 45 and 49, looks like it happens twice. 1, 2. Between 50 and 54. Between 50 and 54 happens 3 times. And from 55 to 59, you're talking about 55 to 59, that only happens twice. And then from 60, once, right? So basically, your frequency, whatever happens here, this should equal up to how many points you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You should have 12 data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So with having our frequency table, we can build our histogram now, right? It actually shows you the frequency. So let me actually design what our frequency is going to look like. First off, we're going to have from 50 to 54. It's pretty much one segment, right? And let me do that in a different color. There's one segment, right? Next segment is from 55 to 59. There goes another segment. then we have from, wait, I'm sorry, hold up, let me pause and do this right. Yeah, I caught myself. So instead of 50, it should have been 40 to 44 and 45 to 49. Now it's going to be 50 to 54, right? And 55 to 59. And then our frequency from 60, oh, wrong color. I want to be consistent here. 60 to 64. Those are our segments, right? And give me 1 second. Let me make. All right, that's better. So now, since this is what our graph looks like, here's what's gonna happen. Our frequency, we had 4 spaces. We have four data points happening in between 40 and 44. So this bar graph actually goes all the way up to 4, right? Uh-oh. Did I? So that's the bar for pretty much the bar for 40 to 44, right? And then our frequency, hold on. Our frequency for the other points, wait a minute. Our frequency for 40 to 49, that was twice, right? So since it was twice, it's actually at the level 2. So actually draw a bar here. Close enough. I'll make that even a different color so we can tell the difference. And I'll fill that in. So now from 50 to 50 pretty much is right here. So let me fill that in. Remember, in a histogram, all the bars are touching. Now luckily, I have a whole bunch of colors, so I can differentiate between my parts in the histogram. And since the frequency was 3 from 50 to 54, then that bar goes just up to 3, right? What else we got? 55 to 59. Since the frequency is 2, the bar goes up to 2. Remember, all the bars are touching. I'm really taking advantage of all these colors right here. And last color, from 60 to 64 was just 1. Bam. So pretty much that's what my histogram looks like once I plot the frequency of the data that I'm given, right? So I want you to try one on your own, right? And I want you to build a histogram for this. The prices in dollars of sandwiches at a restaurant are listed below. Make a histogram of the data. First off, let me remember, you want your intervals to be equal, right? And luckily, well, I thought that our data was in order, but it's a little bit out of order. So let's just put that in order just to make sure. So I put the data in order just so we could see that. Now building up our intervals. Now our intervals look like, let's see, it goes from $4 to $5.95, in other words almost $2. So why don't we make our interval every 50 cents? In other words, let's go from I need a little bit more space. Let's go from $4 to $4.49. That's pretty much 50 cents right there. Alright, and then from there let's go to $4.50 to $4.99, so on and so forth. Alright, I think those intervals covers all of our data, right? So let's find out. So $4 to $4.49, you are talking about that one, that one, that one, and that one. $4 to $4.49, that means that this has a frequency of 4. Then I mean, you don't really have to make it tally marks, to be honest with you. I really don't care. Why don't we just make that 4? Happened 4 times. We know 4. From 450 to 499. Up, only happens twice. 450 to 499 happens twice. $5 to 549. $5 to 549. Oh, doesn't happen at all actually. Let's say $5. And then 550 to 550 to 599. Let's see, 550, 575 happens 4 times. So we can say that is 4 times. So we have enough data to actually make our histogram. So why don't you pause the video, make your histogram, come back and see if we have the same thing. So go ahead, pause the video now. I just want to point out that since there was no occurrences in between $5 and $5.49, there's no bar on that chart on that part right there. So since there's no bar on that part, you skip right over it and just get the other part of the bar, right? Alright, so pretty much you have enough to do your homework or even start your homework. Sorry that this video was way too long. At least I used a little bit of colors. And we will talk about this a little bit more in class and any questions you have. Until next time.